New to Studiometry 13 are tags. Now, you may already know what tags are because they're a common feature in other apps. Tags help you organize your data. You can tag almost anything in Studiometry, including your clients, projects, contacts, to-dos, logs, work, invoices, reports, and employees. You can then use tags to filter your summaries, groups, and lists. Tags are a great way of collecting and labeling items in Studiometry. In this video, we'll go over three things: adding tags to items, editing tags, and using tags to filter your data. First up, let's start with adding tags to items. Now, you can add tags to almost any item in Studiometry, so we'll start with to-dos. I'm going to go to the to-dos section in Studiometry, and here we can see that we have about 5 to-dos in our list. Now, if I wanted to tag one of these items, I would just double-click on it to edit it, and then we can see here that there's a new tags field. So if I click in here, I can just start typing to add any type of tag that I want to this item. And since the description of this to-do is call Steve, we'll tag this as phone. And then when I hit return, it'll create a new tag. So now the phone tag has been added to this, and if I hit OK, it'll save that, and we can see right here that this is tagged as phone. Now, obviously, we can add more than one tag to each item. I'm going to go back in here and also create a new tag of important, so that we know that this is an important phone call. And then when I hit OK, it'll create the second tag, and we can see this is a phone call that's important. So where tags start becoming very useful is when we reuse these tags on other items. So if we have something else that's important, like signing off on the first draft, I can go into here and go to the tags field and just start typing in important, and we can see that it auto-completes the rest of the tag. So if I hit return, it will add that same tag to this item. Now you can see on the right here there's a little tags item within the tags field, and if we click on that, this will bring up a field where we can type in any tags, and it'll also show us any existing tags that we've already added. So if we double click on one of these, it will add it to our tags field. So that's just an easier, bigger way of seeing all the tags on an item, and also being able to easily reuse other tags that have been used on other items. So if we hit OK now, we can see that this was also tagged as important. So that's pretty simple. That's adding tags to to-dos. Let's go add tags to one of our projects. If we go back to our clients and projects, and we just select a project here, we can see now in the project's overview that there's a new tags menu. So if we click on this, it'll bring up a list of all of the existing tags that we have, and it'll also bring up the ability to edit project's tags. So this will bring up that same window where we can type in new tags if we want, or use existing tags to tag this project. So I'll double click and say that it's important, and we'll also tag it as upcoming. And then when I hit return, we can see both of these tags here under the project. Now to modify the tags for this project, we could just click on the tag icon here, and it'll bring up that same menu where we can check or uncheck specific tags, or edit the project's tags in the project tag editing window. So we can do all of that from here. So now that we've got a couple of tags entered into Studiometry, let's say we wanted to change the name of important and say it's super important. If we wanted to edit our tags, we would then go to the tags list in the main window. And if this doesn't appear for you, you can just click on the gear icon in the bottom left and select View Settings, and then just make sure that tags is checked in this window. So while we're within the tags list, we can see right here there's the option to edit tags. So if I click this, this will bring up our tag editing window. It'll show us all of the existing tags that we have, and it'll let us change the name and actually assign colors to them. So if I wanted to change the name of important, I would just select it and then click on the name and then type super important. And let's say we wanted it to be a different color. You can just click on this little oval over here and then select a color to assign to it. So now this tag is red and it's super important. So while we're in this window, I'll add a couple more tags. I'm going to click the plus button to create a new tag, and I'm going to create a group of tags. This will be for difficulty. And then after I added the difficulty, we can see that it's here. I want to add a few sub-tags to this, and to do that, you click on the sub-tag button here. So I click that, and we'll say easy, and then I'll select difficulty again and click sub-tag, and then say hard. So as you can see, this is all alphabetically ordered, and each item that is under one of the items will appear directly below it. So it will alphabetically order each tier of your tags. So I'll create another group of tags for importance, and then I'll create a new subtag, doesn't matter, And then I'll also take this super important tag and then just drop it under here so it goes within the importance tags. And then we'll just change the color of this to show that it's not very important. And we can see here we've got a little tag list. So now if I close out of this window and I go back to the clients and projects list and go back to that project that we tagged earlier, we can see super important has been updated and we now have the color here. And if I wanted to edit the tags, I can go edit projects tags. And we can see our tag list here with all the sub tags, and we can just double click on one to add it to our list. So when I close this, we can see that this project was labeled as easy. And now when we're within a project, we can very easily get to a tag by just clicking on it here. So if I click on super important, it will bring me back to the tags list and select super important. We can see everything that's tagged as super important here. Which brings us to the third part of this video, which is using tags to filter your data. Now obviously here the easiest way to see your data based on the tags is to come to the tags list and then select a tag, and then you can see all items that have been tagged with that tag. But there's many other ways that you can use tags in Studiometry. If we go back to the to-dos list here, we can see that the items here are tagged, but you can see at the bottom now there's a new little tag bar where you can actually filter the list based on tags. So if I click super important, it will only show me items that have been tagged with super important. So any tags that have been added to your items that show up in the list above, these tags will populate in the list below, and then you'll be able to filter the list based on the existing tags. So if I go into another to-do and then I just start adding a tag of easy and I hit OK, we can see that easy now appears in the filter list below. So if I select that, it'll show any to-dos that are tagged as easy. So it's a pretty quick and easy way to filter any of your lists in Studiometry. Another great place to use your tags is in custom summaries. Now we have an entirely separate video on custom summaries, but we're just going to focus really quick on how you can use tags within them. If you go to the Summaries menu and select New Custom Summary, we can click the plus button and add a tier for, let's say, Project. And if we wanted to filter this summary to only show projects with certain tags, I would click on the Filter column, select Tags, and then we'll say Super Important. So only projects that are super important will appear when we show this summary. So now if I hit View Summary, we can see right here that the only project that appears within this is the site design that we tagged as super important. So if I go back to the summary editing window, I'm just going to click the edit button here, and we can see that the filter for the project tier is based on tags. But you can actually, if I remove this tier, for your clients, projects, and employees tiers, you can filter those based on the tags that you've entered for your clients, projects, and employees. And the last thing that we're going to look at in terms of filtering our data based on tags is groups. I'm going to close out of these windows and go back to Studiometry's main window. And I'm going to create a new smart group that will show me any projects that are tagged as super important. So to do that, I'm going to click on the plus button in the bottom left, and then scroll down and select New Smart Group. And then from here, I'm going to add a new project rule and select Tags, Contains, and then I'll click over here and we'll say Super Important. And then I'll just say Super Important Projects. Now, we have another video for groups, and you can actually see that if you just click on the Watch Tutorial button here. And that'll go over all the settings in here if you want more details about everything you can do in here. But for now, this group will basically just show us any projects that match the tag super important. So when I hit OK, it'll create the group, and we can see that there's one project within this group. So now anytime we tag another project, let's say we go back to our projects, and I tag this group, or sorry, this project with super important, the next time we go to super important projects, we can see this will appear here as well. So those are tags. They're a very simple, easy way to organize and label your data, and you can use them all throughout Studiometry with your summaries and your groups and filtering your lists, and in a lot of places. Hopefully this video was helpful, and if you have any questions about this or anything else with Studiometry, please feel free to get in touch with us at support.oranged.net.